Ba ba ba. Testing. Ha ha ha. I can see your lips moving, but the words just won't come out. We're good. We're good. We're good. All right, we got sound. I don't know why my recording thing does that. I usually check it, but sometimes it just decides to not have the sound work. All right, we're gonna leave this over here. We've got sound. We've got sound. You guys literally didn't want to hear anything I just said anyway because it was just complete garbage. But yeah, I said I just cracked open a cider. This is a really, I think it's a local cider. It's really good. It's nice and dry. I don't like the sweet ciders. Yeah, my son is asleep. I just put my son down for a nap. Took him to a children's museum this morning. It's snowing. I did not feel like taking him to daycare. So he's chilling in his crib now, sleeping. And we're going to do this. So make the dump stop. The dump will never stop. Man, you guys, I mean, it could be like ugly for the next 6 months or more. Who knows? So anyway, thank you guys for joining. It's good to see so many people came to the Tiny Sausage Club. So, yeah, I mean, it's good to see so many Tiny Sausage Club members. Cheers to all you guys. And, yeah, shout out to BingX, as you can see on the chair over there. I didn't feel like putting on the shirt today. Where's Mrs. Gunner? She's at work. She's working like 4 hours today, so then she's going to happy hour with one of her friends. So, yeah, that's what Mrs. Gunner's doing. She works like 20 hours a week, so, you know, it's good for me. I get some free time. Free time to do whatever I want, a.k.a. play FIFA. Anyway, you guys, yeah. Hey, Gunner, do you actually do those giveaways on Twitter? Not sure if everyone who says they do giveaways truly do them. Do I do giveaways? Yeah. Well, actually, I have some treasures here for some giveaways. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised at people being skeptical of giveaways. Too many people just do it for engagement. I don't even make it a requirement to follow me on the giveaways because I don't want people to think I'm doing it for just straight engagement, right? Like, obviously it helps. I get a lot of retweets or whatever, but the only way to do it for the picker I use, you can see it up here, Twitter picker. That's what I use to pick my giveaways. And literally the requirements on there are comment and retweet. And then it'll pick one of the comments and it makes sure they retweeted. So that's the easiest way for me to do it. I don't want to do a lot of work for the giveaways any more than I have to because I'm already busy enough. So, yeah. I paid out. I did a $100 giveaway for 14 days. Everyone got paid out within 24 hours. Most of them got paid out right after I announced it. But, yeah, I've done treasure giveaways. I don't know. I've done a ton of them, a ton of different ones. So the hard part is I would love to do more giveaways and stuff. But no, you guys don't know. Just because you're at the Tiny Sausage Club doesn't mean you need to have your sausage out right now. That's not while we're charting. Okay. That's just distracting. But yeah, I mean, I do a ton of giveaways. I would like to do more, but honestly, I do a lot of stuff like locally because online, it's just hard to know if it's like, I had people send me pictures saying that they're disabled and they sent me some weird like pictures and like maybe fake or real medical documents. And I'm like, dude, I don't want all this shit. Like, I don't know. But then like, I didn't message them back or anything. And I was like, God, I kind of feel bad. But then I got from a different account, like 3 days later, I got the same message with different pictures. And I'm like, okay. Like, clearly, it was, like, almost the exact same message. And I'm like, all right, like, you're clearly just trying to scam me, right? So, you haven't played FIFA yet? Oh, man, this year's FIFA is really good. Except for, we'll get into charts in a second, guys, but I have to do a quick rant because FIFA, you guys know I'm pretty good at FIFA. My buddy and I, we play co-op online, and we were, like, top 25 last year, right? And then this year, our record should be like 96-6, I think. Like we should still have single-digit losses. But for the first few months of it being out, if a team would quit, it would give like over 50% of the time, it would give the other team the win. So people kept rage quitting, and then they would get the win. So we're like 85-18 now or something. So it's annoying, but anyway, that's my rant. I'm trying to get back on the leaderboard this year. No, definitely not, Drew. I'm not even going to read that question out loud. Yeah, we're going to do comp today. I'll check out Woo too. I'll write that down. But yeah, I'm pretty competitive, you guys. So maybe that carries over well in the market. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But anyway, all right. First off, I didn't add DXY back. I accidentally unorganized my watch list yesterday, and I have to get everything back. So there's DXY. Make that green for money. Okay. So let's start with Bitcoin. I mean, I'm so annoyed at Bitcoin, you guys. Like this breakout, I've been somewhat bullish, right? Like I haven't been my normal bearish self, just like trying to short everything. Like I've actually been telling people not to short, which is great. But I closed all my longs, like, because there was no follow through. So it's just annoying. This price action sucks. This is a really key area. This has been my target since the breakout. I know we talked about on live streams before, and we looked at like Ape and other assets that have retested this. So any asset we looked at, we basically were expecting them to retest this breakdown, right? So this is my key area. I tweeted yesterday too, like key resistance. So hopefully you guys were able to get out with some profit up there, or not longing resistance and whatnot. But that's an ugly rejection, and honestly, this is turning into like an evening star pattern. So that's not a good sign. But key here was. So we had this breakout here, and I actually have a really good video on YouTube. I'm going to show you guys it real quick. Because if you haven't watched this video yet, you got to watch it. It's really, really, really good. I make a shit ton of money on these setups. Like, they're freaking easy. Like, it's the easiest trade ever in these conditions. Identifying scam pumps in a bear market. So what you do is you go to my YouTube, and you go to the Get Educated page. Let me cover up this. Sorry, BingX. No, I'm just kidding. So you go to BitGet series, and you go to identifying scam pumps in a bear market, and you're probably gonna be rich. That's just it. Okay. Anyway, you guys. So that is one of the best videos ever. But per that reason, once we broke out here, our bearish boundary was down here, and I actually remember a chart where I put bearish, bullish, right? Anyway, so that was where I would have started shorting again if we broke down there, and we didn't. So I hadn't been shorting. So now our level moves up here, okay? And it's more like the base of this. So that's what? The open is 17,200. So below 17,200, that's where I would consider getting into shorts again. If I was at my computer, I was actually golfing. I was at Top Golf yesterday when this whole debacle was going on. But I would have loved to get a little short in here if I was like able, at my computer or whatever, but I was not. So I didn't want to FOMO anywhere else because I wasn't sure if we'd reject and go, like do a double test or how the daily would close. So anyway, this is where I would consider shorts again. Not only do we have the horizontal confluence, we also have this diagonal, okay, which is already tested 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess this is technically the 5th time. So if we break that down, pretty likely that, we at least sweep the low area or 16.5K, okay? And 16.5K remains untested as well. So it's kind of what I'm looking at. Everything looks garbage. To be honest, I don't really like holding shorts very long when Top BinX is bottomed out, because you can see how price action does when, like shorting, when Top BinX was up here, okay, good short. When Top BinX is down here, it's not like a good hold. It's not a good swing anymore. Doesn't mean we can't nuke, but that's usually when we hit support. Like up here, when Top BinX is at the top of this momentum, look how long, that's when it's better to short. So that's my little thoughts on that. Let's take a look at DXY real quick, because it's kind of interesting. If a reversal candle appears, does it mean the intermediate trend will reverse? I mean, honestly, you guys, we're still in a monthly downtrend. So until that reverses, we're still in a monthly downtrend. And I called monthly. Today, Junior. I mentioned a monthly uptrend started when Bitcoin broke like 13,900, and then I mentioned a downtrend when it broke like 56K, I think. So once I see a uptrend break on a high time frame, I'll say it, but I don't see any yet. So anyway, here's DXY. All right, we have this very big reaccumulation, and honestly, if we want, we could just put our line up here at these wicks. Okay, so this is a big reaccumulation, and we have a retest now. So, in theory, this could just continue higher. Okay, this could go all the way up. It could bounce a little bit and then die. We just don't know. We really don't know. It's interesting because on the weekly chart, we have a top Goon X sell approaching alert. Okay. And so that gives us some clear levels to look at, which is great. So what we can do here is we can draw our Fibonacci. I usually like going from the breakdown. This is kind of the breakdown here. So let's go from there. And basically, what we see here is our key level. Let me get this over here so you guys see it better. Our key level is going to be the 0.786 Fib. Okay. So if somehow DXY bounces up to this level, that's where it could reject and go lower. Okay. If it breaks through that level, very high probability that we go to the 1337, which is at 118-ish, 117-ish area, which is actually a very key area. A lot of people think that it could have topped out at, or when we were here, a lot of people thought that 117, 118 area was going to be the top. So, very key level. So if we break that, I mean, it's going to be a very good sign that the markets will probably dump because DXY will continue to pump, right? And when if we break the 0.786 Fib level, it's usually a very quick pump. Like it's usually a very quick acceleration. And then at that point, we would see if this rejects, which would be very, very, very bullish for the markets because it'd be very bearish for DXY. If it broke that, it would just, that's just monster trend continuation. And actually, it doesn't happen that often to where that breaks. Not very often does that break, but if it does, that means mega trend continuation. And for just extra confluence on this, you guys, so this is going to be what we just talked about, but on the Bitcoin chart. So you can see here, we have the weekly sell approaching from top Goon X. Okay. We draw our Fib levels. Okay. And when we zoom in, you see that I will highlight the 0.786 Fibonacci level like I did before. And look what we have here. So if I zoom way in, we broke the 1.786 Fibonacci level. See, we closed above it. And we immediately continued the next 2 weeks up to the 1.337 Fib, which is exactly what would happen on DXY. It would be a very similar situation. And then, of course, Top Goon X rejected, or price rejected right at the 1.337 Fib. And you can see how that works. That is like bull trap territory, and that is new trend. And so basically, once we broke back down below the 0.786 Fib, that was clear confirmation of a trend change on the weekly chart and like bullish trend or bearish trend. And then mega confirmation was a 0.236 Fibonacci level break to send us even lower. And that's another time, but that's when trend acceleration starts. And you can see here after it broke the 0.236 Fib, trend continuation, trend acceleration occurred. So that was a lot. Hope you guys took it in. Oh, I blocked somebody. Sure. On Twitter. I will unblock you. Post your at in here and I'll write it down. Sometimes people get blocked for unnecessary reasons, honestly. I'm not going to lie. But I got to get rid of all the trolls because it takes away from my content and it takes away from my time. Like, I don't mind people that don't agree with what I say. Like, that's okay. But like when people, it's just tough to deal with so many trolls online when you have so many followers. I used to just leave them go. But then once I started getting like over 100K followers, you just get so many trolls that like you can't, they hide all the good stuff and then you can't even get, contact with the good people. And then it's just a mess. So I don't even like engage with trolls anymore. I just let them talk or block and move on. Sometimes, I like to make a good joke. But okay, I'm going to unblock you after this. I'm writing you down. Cool. Gotcha. All right. So I got a couple others on our list. We got DXY checked off, Bitcoin. Oh, I don't know what I just did. Okay. Let's go. Feels like Bitcoin could probably bounce soon. Yeah. Bitcoin could probably bounce here, actually. I mean, this looks like a decent long opportunity, if I'm being honest. Should we pop a quick long? I don't even know. I'm going to do like a 5x long here on a small position just for fun. Let's see if it works. I don't know if it'll work. Let's pop in a 5x. I should use BingX, but I actually am not logged in right now, so I'm gonna use a different exchange. I won't tell BingX about that. Oh, I did 8x. I don't know if it's gonna work out, but I kind of like this little opportunity here. So we've got a nice high volume sell off, basically a morning star pattern. We've got a deviation here, and this is a 5-minute chart. And so we've had a lot of downside pressure, so it's really not worth going big right now. We've got a 30-minute nice strong wick. Yeah, I mean, we could bounce here a little bit, get some relief. We're at range lows. Remember, my range lows from yesterday were literally 17,400. So we're trying to get a little trend break here. Sometimes this just goes and then goes up and just screws me over, you know. But that's why I can't go high leverage here. If I was trying to nail a bottom, I could try the high leverage or something, you know. But anyway, small little long. I'm up 0.15%. Let's go. Let's see what Top Gun says. Top Gun kind of topped out, actually. That's not a good sign. That means there's a lot of effort here. 3 minutes looking okay. We don't have any. I'm actually surprised. We don't have any Top Gun buy signals here. We have a lot of divergences. Like, look at this momentum divergence on Top Gun. Okay. Price going down. And Top Gun pushing up. And so we should, it's just, there's some downside pressure because we've just dropped so hard. And I actually have a new video coming out on YouTube soon that'll talk more about that. But we should bounce just a little bit here. I mean, we're at daily support too. I'm not going all in. I'm not doing anything crazy on this position because it's against the trend, in my opinion. But we got our little touch of the 11 EMA. 1 hour, really nice candle hold here. Nice little wick below the 99 SMA. So I would say we could go to maybe 17,500. Okay, that'd be a good little target here. We've had a lot of resistance there. And in general, we have a lot of resistance above. So if I got in down here, I could have gone a little bit bigger maybe. Been a little bit more aggressive if I thought that was a bottom, but that's kind of risky. But so I usually wait for a little bit of confirmation. I basically have my invalidation here. So if we break down, like, whatever. Like, if we break down there, I can close for a very small loss. And then, you know, of course, sometimes the market just does this and likes to screw with you, and that's okay. Shit happens. That's why we have risk management. But overall, I mean, the only chart that really doesn't look great is the 1-minute chart. Every other chart looks halfway decent. Like, 5-minute looks all right. It probably goes against me. Maybe I'll lose this trade. We'll see. Boom, boom, boom. Get back under my bridge. Say I lost around $60,000 over the last 2 years and I make $20K back by the end of the year or next year. Do I still have to pay taxes even though I lost? I mean, it's year based. So you would pay, like, you could write off up to a certain amount of losses on your taxes for each year, but then the next year, if you make money, you technically have to claim that. You technically have to. That's up to you if you want to or not. Some people don't do that, but I mean, me literally just doing this full time, I just have to claim literally every cent that I make because it's just too risky not to. But yeah, I mean, I know some people that make a few bucks here and there on it and don't claim it. So good for them. I forgot their names though, Mr. IRS man. So you can't come after me because I totally forgot their names. I don't know who they are anymore. So yeah, let's see if we bounce in here. We're all watching. This is boring. No, this is what's been annoying lately for trading is like there's just no action. But I really do like this lower wick here, and I like this 5-minute little thing here. I think Tesla looked like a little diamond bottom too. Oh, no, not really. Never mind. Ignore Tesla. It's nuking. We will look at a couple stock charts while we're on here, though, because there's a couple really nice ones. We're mooning. I'm up 0.4%, you guys. I'm up 0.4%. I can't believe it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on the Forbes list here soon after this trade. I don't know. I'm up 0.48% now. 0.48% now, you guys. I think I just moved up into third place on the Forbes list, and now I'm down to 5. I'm up 0.43 now. I wonder if some people actually like trade like that. I guess if you're like on high leverage, you're like, I'm up 5%, I'm down 10%, I'm up 20%. High leverage is nuts, though. I remembered you mentioned I don't trade options on stocks. Yeah, I don't know how to trade options on stocks. I just don't get it. Like I've never put in the effort to learn, so I just short sell on my broker. I have no clue if this trade's gonna work out, you guys. It's so slow. I mean, the chart still looks good, so I'm being patient. It's like I said, it's low risk. I didn't go balls deep in it or anything, so we're just waiting. I mean, the problem is Top BinX. The problem is these EMAs here haven't caught up with the SMA. Like we need our EMAs. We either need like a really strong pop here to pull our EMAs up, or we literally just need to consolidate a little bit longer, even if we go to get those EMAs to catch up. Because right now, EMAs are technically bearish below there, but they're catching up and they're getting tight. And when they get tight, price action happens. So when they get tight, you see a quick move in either direction. So 5-minute EMAs are almost bullish. I mean, we're close. I got new contacts yesterday. A new contact yesterday. Like they tried me a new brand and it does not work. Like I can't see anything out of here. Like I'm gonna be like pointing to something and you guys gonna be like, Gooner, that you're not even on the screen. You're not even on the screen. So they're ordering me a new one though, but I gotta wait a few days. Okay, let's see what else you guys talk. I'm trying to read your comments. Oh, I'm late. I got distracted charting. That happens to me all the time. Yeah, so if anybody didn't know, if you just joined us, we're long on Bitcoin right now for a scalp. I'm up 0.3%. You know, I'm probably if it goes up to 0.8%, I'm gonna have to search for yachts or something. Just kidding, obviously. We'll just watch this boring ass price action for like another 5 minutes, a couple minutes, and then we'll look at charts again, like high time frame charts. Here, I think it's the 99 SMMA, which I don't even know what the difference is. But I literally just typed in SMA, and that's what pops up. So if you want to add that. And these are Gooner EMAs. You can literally just search them. Look, Gooner EMA. Bam. Come on, bulls. Give us a pump. This is why I never put my faith in the bulls, you guys. Because the bears just always come through more. The bears just always come through more. Where's my stop loss? I have no idea. Like I said, I went small. We'll close it. I mean, technically invalidation. So, like, I have an idea, obviously. But technically my invalidation would be, like, right here. So, like, this would have been ideal entry. I mean, our OBV's perking a little bit. There's just no follow-through. Like, if I was high leverage, I would probably close this because there's no follow-through right now. But, I mean, it's still consolidating. And like I said, we need our EMAs to catch up here a little bit. To give us some more strength. So, kind of waiting on that. Overall, not only that, I mean, we're still technically bearish. Like, up here, above the EMAs and SMAs, you're going to get a lot more strength, right? And now we're below, and you're seeing weakness. So, it's no surprise. We're just waiting. Look, our 11 EMA is the green one's trying to catch up. I mean, it's good that Top BinX momentum is really high. It actually broke out from this resistance, which is a good thing. But I wish we would have gotten a buy approaching alert. We got no buy approaching alerts. So I like the buy signals. They give me some more confirmation. But you could see exactly kind of what I was talking about is trying to happen here. We just got to get that pop. Got to get that pop to pull our EMAs up. It's like I'm a sorcerer, you guys. Does anyone know if Tether has ever passed an audit? I'm pretty sure they've been audited multiple times and passed every time. But then they go, oh, well, that was a sketchy audit or it wasn't an approved source or some shit. I don't know. So, I mean, I think Tether is probably the least. I think Binance going down is probably more of our worries than Tether, honestly. Like, I just don't think I don't think Tether's going to go down. It could, but it's just like, how many times has it been fudded now? Like, it's been fudded for 3 years now. So if it hasn't gone down yet, why would it go down at this point? Like, what's the point, right? Like, everybody that was going to go after it has likely gone after it now. So, yeah, but if you can see so we got one EMA above. So if our other EMA can catch up here, we're going to see some nice movement. We're just waiting. Oh, I'm up 0.5% now. I'm so rich. Oh, 3 pennies, sir. Shekels. Ooh, that looks nice. Oh, sorry. Somebody sent me a picture of something. We're having our laundry room finished. Somebody is working on my some shelves for us, and they look pretty good. Please pump, sir, for my bags, which are all broken from recent price action. Okay, we're just going to assume this is a bullish breakout. I don't know. I'm just kidding. There we go. Bam! Moon it! So usually I don't really sit here and watch this shit. It depends on the time frame. Like a 5-minute chart on a small low leverage. If I'm on like high leverage, you guys, I don't take my eyes off the chart because that's just asking to get liquidated. Like if we just saw heavy sell volume come in and just start to nuke, and I was in a high leverage trade, I got to get out, right? But yeah, I mean, we're just chilling right now. Oh, we're going up. We're going up. I mean, this is a solid setup, though. It really is. I mean, this is a solid long setup. It's just downside pressures there, right? But like Topcoin X is looking pretty good. And it's crazy because when Topcoin X crosses these zones, you always see a pullback. And you can see here it crossed this zone here and it pulled back here. So it's pretty cool. Remember, you guys, the live stream's delayed too. So if I close, it's going to be delayed. But I mean, you should have time. If you guys are trading along with me, you should have time to get out. You could trail a stop loss. But honestly, like I would never go big in these conditions, especially when there's just not that much volatility. But I mean, we look good here. We look solid. What time is it? We got 30-minute just closed. That's a nice 30-minute candle. So at this point, let's just say we don't want Bitcoin to go below the base of this 30-minute, which is 1740. Okay, 17,400. Occasionally you'll get a retest like here. I don't even really want that. Sometimes you'll get this. Okay, but honestly, we just want to see momentum go up here. So if you're feeling scared, you can always close. Oh, there we go. There we're getting some poppage. And look what's happening. Our EMAs are catching up. Our EMAs are catching up now. We're getting that pop that I talked about needing. So I'm up 1% now. I only went 8x leverage. Let's see. I definitely should have used BingX, but sorry. Sorry, BingX. I actually use BingX way more than any other exchange. I really do. But yeah, I mean, you can see here, proof of trade. So now we're probably going to get a little pullback here because we just got a little low time frame pop and we hit resistance. So, decent. I could have taken profit, but I'm trying to let this ride. And basically what happens here is now if this EMA gets above, we're basically like technically bullish on this 1-minute time frame. And then it should be like technically buy the dips, right? And then we should go up a little bit higher. We got halfway to my target of 17,500. So again, if you're feeling like you want to take profit, it's never a bad time in these conditions. But I'm playing a little riskier here, riskier as far as holding, but it's a low risk position because it's just 8x small position. I didn't go very big at all. But remember, our initial invalidation was here, and now I think we can move up our invalidation a little bit to like 17,400. And I think my entry was, let's see, 17,412. So this is just tight. Like, this is I like these kind of trades because it's pretty low risk. Because if we just start to nuke right now, like I can actually have I can have the close button selected right now. And if this starts to nuke, I can just close. Or I can put a stop loss at break even if I'm really nervous. So there's so many different ways to manage these trades, you guys. But let's see. I mean, we retesting here. Look at our EMA, you guys. It just crossed. So that's a good sign. Now, obviously, this is a bearish candle, right? Like, that's not good. But our highest volume is actually on this breakout here. So that's a good sign because we're holding that for now. I like it. See, somebody's like, yeah, I'm going to trade alongside with you with a small amount to test it out too. So that's great. Like we're not here to degen, you guys. And we really should never degen. If you ever feel like you just want to be a degenerate and there's a lot of volume, but you don't think you could trade it, just take a very small amount, take like 1% of your account, or actually even less. Take like 0.25% of your account or something and just go crazy. Like that's okay. But you can't do that and then try to trade right after. Like you have to because you'll get in a different mindset doing that. And you can't do it very often because when you do it too often, you'll just become a gambler in general. Like I actually probably need to take some time off sports betting because when I sports bet, I kind of just go a little bit riskier because I use small amounts when I sports bet anyway. So which makes me go a little bit riskier than I would in trading. And sometimes that like kind of gambling nature can like almost like that like, I don't know, like just I can kind of get into that mindset and then bring it over to trading. And I don't like that. So I don't try to gamble too often anyway. But every once in a while, if there's like, if price is just going crazy or if there's FOMC and I want to take $100 and just see if I can make, like sometimes when there's a lot of volatility, I can turn $100 into like 3,000 or 4,000 in like 10 minutes. But then but if I tried with $5,000, I would probably turn it into $0 in 5 minutes. So that's why I like to go small. If I'm just kind of degenning and having some fun and there's a lot of volatility. All right, so we're hitting our 15-minute EMA, 30-minute EMA. We are popping. Some people think I can't long too, which is so funny. They're like, you're just a bear. You're a perma bear. You don't know how to long. And it's like, I know how to long. I just don't long when it's in a bear market very often. I'm sorry. Sorry to tell you. I want to see Top BinX momentum carry up, though. Volume looks good. Remember, our EMAs went bullish. And we really just want to see, like, stop loss at break even now is a great idea, in my opinion. I wouldn't even care if I got wicked out at break even right now, at right here. It's definitely possible, Look at the 5 minute, though. Nice increasing volume. Sure, we could get a bullshit pullback. That's never out of the question. I like Top BinX showing strong momentum. OBV is nice and strong. At least on the low time frames. But we don't want to hold this trade too long either because it's a 5 minute chart. So, like, I could ladder out a little bit here. I have so many options. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close 50% here. Like I said, I'm not going huge. I closed 50%. I'm up like 1.5%. I could put my stop loss at break even now. And honestly, this was a good setup. Like if I wasn't on live stream, I could have. And the reason I don't like to trade big numbers on live stream is because this needs to be educational, right? Like I don't need to be here. Like I'm not trying to like make crazy trades while I'm on here. But if I was really going, and not only that, I like to dive in a little bit more if I'm like trading large amounts, obviously, and like really hit higher time frames. But we did have this really good setup. I mean, this was a clear deviation. I love how this candle here was high volume and closed above this breakdown. And this was the highest volume locally on this breakdown. And what happened? All of these sellers are trapped now, right? Like everyone who panic sold here is now, or panic shorted here is now kind of screwed. And it's just kind of floating here. And they're like, okay, I'm fine. It's going to go back down. It's going to go back down. And what happens is, poof, it's going to be a quick, at some point, it's likely that there will be like a quick pop, like a really quick pop. And then they'll go, I got to get out of my short. And then it'll go, and then sink back to this low area, right? Like that's what'll happen, or what usually happens. So for now, we're looking pretty good. I mean, look, if you look down here, just locally, look at all that green. Well, it's white, but look at all the green here. There's not much red sell volume, okay? So buyers are locally the more aggressive party as well. So that's a good sign. Now, of course, the other thing you got to think about is, what if I'm wrong, right? What if I'm wrong? What if this doesn't work out, right? And we've already taken precautions because a lot of people, they just look at, okay, this is going to bounce here and it's going to go up to here, okay? And that's all they say. It's going to bounce here and it's going to go up to here, and that's all they do. Well, I got to say, okay, what if it doesn't bounce? What if there's a 1 minute reversal? What if this actually is a reversal and I need to get out, right? And now here's that FOMO coming in that I talked about. Look at the bulls coming in with the big sausage. We got to change this to a big sausage party, you guys. It's a huge sausage party. So we almost hit our first target. So honestly, I'm about to close here in a second. I'm just going to do it. I don't care. That was good. I'm happy with that. We got a couple bucks shy of our first target. It probably reaches... what was our target? 17.5? 509-ish. So I maybe closed a little early, but let's get on with the live stream to other things. But nice little pop. I don't know how much I closed. Let's see. We made 2% on that trade. Not bad, not bad. Nice little scalp. But now with large positions, I mean, a 2% scalp can turn into, a really nice profit. And that's one of the reasons why I've been trading stocks a lot lately is because of the fees. Because I can do a $500,000 stock position for 0 fees. So if that stock moves 0.01%, I can make money. Where I'm not trading 0.01% moves, but the deal is if I trade like a $500,000 position in crypto, I'm probably looking at like $500 of fees or more. Like I'm not even sure. I can't even remember. It depends on the leverage and whatnot. But so if I take 10 trades a week at $500,000, I could save $5,000 a week just by, trading on my stock account. So that's one of the things. And then just using low leverage on crypto too, or spot trading. And honestly, one thing I like to do with crypto is I use large positions if I'm trading spot because it's free usually, unless I'm on Coinbase. But if I'm on, one of the other exchanges, it's free. There's a lot of exchanges right now, especially leverage exchanges, that just let you trade spot for free. So that's the best part about it. But of course, in these market conditions, I can't trade spot very much because everything's nuking, right? Everything's going down. So it's either leverage or nothing. So when I'm shorting, I've been doing a lot of shorting on my stock account lately. So this is likely going to push up a little bit higher, you guys. You're new. If you're still holding, that's fine. Your new invalidation is now here. Okay. BinX momentum still is not up like I'd want to see it. But our EMA's popped. We got this nice pop. And honestly, in these conditions, that's when I like to close, is those little pops that there's no follow through. If there was more follow through on this candle, I would have been happy. But since it's stalled, I don't trust it at this point. And I just say, okay, I made my money. I get out. So anyway, that was fun. Hope you guys enjoyed that little thing. Okay, let's go to high time frames and talk about next on my list is we're going to do a stock quick, and then we're going back to crypto. Yeah, those crypto charts, baby. Okay, so this is one where I got stopped out or wicked out or whatever, and I just started scalping it, and I actually had posted on Twitter, there's probably a really good short opportunity somewhere in here. I'm just going to scalp the bounces on low time frames. So that's what I was doing. But as a good example, and I told this to myself yesterday when I shorted this yesterday, which was this small candle, and I closed for a very small profit. And I said, I need to hold this, but I was going bigger in Domino's Pizza. Anyway, so I was like, I need to hold this, but it's at support, and I see other setups that are better elsewhere. But key point here is this is a trend breakdown, okay? Pretty clear, right? And actually I've drawn it here before, so I'm going to keep consistent. So this is a channel, and it's basically a bearish channel. It's a bearish rising channel. And you can see here it breaks down here, and it retests with a nice reversal candle. Where'd my arrow go? Nice reversal candle right here, okay? And then, I don't know, the CPI data came out, and the whole market pumped, but this sold off immediately. So key here is a lot of times I like to go like medium size here and then add if we get this, or I go medium sized here, or I put some size here, and then I put a stop loss at break even when it starts to go down. Because if I get stopped out and it rejects again, I can try to get in a little bit higher. And I know I've made a video about this before, but a lot of times the first one is solid, but the second chance entry is sometimes the best entry. And I remember telling myself that yesterday. So it's basically journal review for me. I'm like, second chance entry is usually the best entry. And you can see here, why is it the best entry? Because first off, that usually becomes a mega stop hunt. And after stop loss hunts are usually when, somebody's calling me a bear in the chat already. And mega stop loss hunts are usually the tops or bottoms, right? Like we just saw on Bitcoin, where we identified this panic sell or a stop hunt down here. It's basically the same thing. Everyone loads up on shorts right here. They go too big. They don't have a wide enough stop loss. They all get stopped out here, and then it nukes. And then they all FOMO in later, and then that's what drives price lower. So anyway, so I'm not mad at all that I closed this, but there's a nice 4% drop since then. And actually, I got a 4% drop on Domino's Pizza today anyway, so it worked out fine. But so yeah, that's my little shop chart. I feel like it's going to go lower. If I get into this one, I'm going to have to go really small. I do like how I'm just hanging out in the middle of nowhere. I would like to see it close below this wick today, and that would probably be good short confirmation for continuation the next couple of days. So basically what I would just look for is pretty much entry on any bounce tomorrow if it closes below there, and then I would just assume that it just trickles down to like maybe this gap or this support. So that's what I see there. Let's see. Let's cross that off my list. Domino's Pizza made this my B earlier today. Freaking work this chart finally, because I got stopped out on a small short earlier this week. But again, you guys remember that 5-minute morning star on Bitcoin chart? This is kind of a weekly evening star, right? Like we have this up thrust, and then we sell off and close below the base there, and we just did that inversely on the Bitcoin chart. Right? So it's the same thing, same time thing. So this should continue higher. I closed about 80 to 85% of the short just because I wanted to lock in profit because these conditions are choppy and because I went huge. Like I went pretty big size for an overnight hold. So, yeah, so anytime I go big, if I feel a little bit overexposed to something, I'm not going to hesitate to close some of that exposure, right? Now, ISI real quick while I'm just over here. I don't know why this is green on the day. But if this turns into a sweet morning, like I'm going to set an alarm here because if this breaks up here, this is going to be the same thing we just saw on Bitcoin. If we can get a nice big green candle here, I'm not going to FOMO here. This is not confirmed as a bottom and it's actually more likely continuation. But if I get a big green candle here and I flip this, then it should pump nicely. Okay, so that's a good setup for me. So sometimes you're not even trading, you're just mapping out setups. Okay, so I'll cross that one off. All right, let's look at RLC because it's green today. What do I use to journal my trades? Twitter. It's literally basically what I use. I post almost all my stock trades on Twitter unless it's like a low time frame scalp that I can't post on Twitter. So yeah, that's what I use. Okay, let's look at RLC. Very interesting chart. Monthly. Irrelevant, but it is going sideways for like 6 months. But we maybe have a little breakout here. Maybe. On, what is this, a 1 week time frame? So no confirmation yet. Obviously, I'd like to see this candle. I'd like to see this breakout here and then flip. But it's interesting. I had bought some originally for my team's portfolio tracker, and then we closed at like 0.5% loss just because the rest of the market looked like shit, and it wasn't moving. But we have this daily bullish engulfing candle here, and it's just kind of nice. Like at some point, this could just do like a big green 10 to 20%, 30% day. So it's very interesting here. I don't like low time frames right now. I mean, this is basically an evening star. But it's just mostly sideways and choppy. So I wouldn't look too much into low time frames. I don't have any I don't even like low time frames on altcoins. Like most of them is like 4 hours is the least I'll do. Just no volume, still consolidating. This 4H bullish engulfing candle is pretty nice. And we have a top good X buy approaching alert, which looks like it actually has played out now and could continue higher. So it might depend on the rest of the market. But yeah, so that's interesting. Comp is another one that was on my watch list and got moved off because my watch list got unorganized. Surprisingly, been holding really well. This was another one that I had in my team's portfolio tracker, and we got out of it. OBV is looking decent. Nice curl. Price is actually holding above our EMAs now for multiple days. So this is one that could pop. And we have this nice little trend breakout here. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see this do like a 10%er here. Up to like 46. So I don't know. Invalidation is kind of tough here. Definitely below this level here, below 37. So if you're setting this up, you're looking at something like this. So 6% for 15. That's a good risk reward. So that's probably how I would set this up if I was looking. I mean, it's not a bad shout. In these conditions, I couldn't go big on something like this. But it looks decent. The chart looks all right. So I didn't really want to check Ocean today. That's kind of just been a mess. It's pretty low volume. We'll check Woo here. All right, let's check Woo. And I actually probably have to go. We got a nice trade in though. That was cool. I gotta get some stuff done before my son wakes up from his nap. Yeah. So I mean, Woo's probably too far gone for me to trade. But if you look at comp, it's pretty similar. Comp just hasn't broken out yet. Woo! I mean, it's very similar. You have this little breakout here. So Woo doesn't continue up to probably at least 16. Yeah, but do I want a piece of it at this point? No. But it definitely looks solid. This market's weird right now, you guys. We're seeing altcoins like hold up and push while Bitcoin dumps. So that's good for trading, but it's just weird. Usually the whole market moves together. So anyway, guys. Yeah, we'll pull up Ape chart real quick. But I don't think I could trade this. It's at this key back test level and it's at a support. So, I mean, I don't like trading charts. And again, I think, did I just make a video about what assets to trade? I'm pretty sure I did in my BitGet series. And this is just, I mean, this is a cluster. This is a tight cluster. I'm not trading this at all. No way. If it gets below, I could set alerts because if it breaks below the CMA, breaks below this range, then it's got a lot of room to fall. If it breaks down here, it's got, you know, the next support's down way low. So otherwise, the next resistance is right here. That's not enough movement for me to really care or get involved in this. So that's all I got for you guys today. I got, okay, Alpha. We'll do one more just because I'm feeling nice today. I mean, Alpha's the same. It looks exactly like Woo before it popped a little bit, and it looks kind of like Comp too. So it's going to be the same thing. You're just going to want to see this breakout hold. And maybe this is the breakout here. But either way, I mean, likely they retest here. But like if Bitcoin just nukes, which I don't think it's going to happen, but if Bitcoin just nuked straight to like 15K overnight, like all the altcoin setups are probably dead. Like they all probably break down. Okay. BingX does have some stocks to trade. Yes, you can trade stocks on BingX. BingX is pretty sweet, you guys. I genuinely use it. I've been working with them for like multiple years. If you want to use my ref link, obviously I appreciate it. You're not obligated. But there's a link in the description, I'm pretty sure, or on my pinned tweet on Twitter. But obviously I appreciate you guys for helping me out or, you know, sending some feedback my way. But otherwise, yeah, it looks like we made the right call to close that trade because it's just kind of chopping. And in these conditions, you're going to get front run a little bit sometimes, like because people are just going to be eager to sell and take profit. So we got out. You know, our target was right about here. We got out. Could it run to target? Yeah, it could still. Could it run back and stop us out if we had our stop loss at break even first? Yeah, it could still. So glad we take profit. Thank you guys for joining. I'm glad to hear you like BingX. Yeah. Oh, he loves BingX. Yeah, BingX. I said, you guys, I wouldn't lie to you guys about the exchanges. Like, I only will work with exchanges. I only let them. Well, basically, they just sponsor my YouTube, right? Which is free content for you guys anyway, which is awesome. But like, I wouldn't work with an exchange that like is crap and I wouldn't use them, right? Like that wouldn't be cool. So I don't like that. I don't like when people do that just to make a buck. So I definitely have always tested out their products before and made sure I feel comfortable with them. So yeah, I mean, BingX has made so many improvements since I started working with them. So if you guys ever had feedback or anything or any features you want added or whatever, let me know. But we've definitely made a ton of improvements since I started working with them. So with that said, you guys, it's been probably over an hour stream, hasn't it? Oh, it's not sure. Oh yeah, 50 minutes. That's perfect. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for joining. You know, don't overtrade these conditions lately. After we've been getting volatility, it's just gone sideways, and you're seeing that now. So don't get chopped up in this. If you lose a couple trades, just stop, put the computer down, come back when there's set some alerts, come back when there's volatility because this market is a mess. I'm not trading Litecoin, but it looks like we're getting that breakdown I mentioned. So probably still a little bit of room for Litecoin to drop on the daily time frame. So Anyway, guys, appreciate you all. Have a great day. Thank you for joining me. Enjoyed all our interactions and all your comments. And I will see you for next week's live stream. Peace. Peace.